These are the top crypto stories of the day, everybody. We have Arbitrum with a gigantic unlock. Tons of tokens, billions of dollars worth are going to be hitting the market. Also, Bitcoin just passed silver in market cap. And then last but not least, we have, is the orange man bad? Because the orange man said orange coin is good. Trump doing a 180 on Bitcoin. Let's go around the blockchain. Thank you for joining, everybody. We got 3 phenomenal guests, so make sure you go ahead and smash the like. Let's go ahead and shock the Google overlords and make them put this channel on the top of all everyone's For You page. In the green square, it was supposed to be here on Mutant Monday, but we had a little crossing of wires. It is Matt Snider. Matt, how are you doing today?
Doing fantastic, DZ. So glad to be here. Thanks for having me. Seeing some extreme greed come across the screen, but thinking it's all up from here. Excited to be here.
It is all up from here, and Thinking Crypto's pants when he looks at the production company. Hey, Thinking Crypto, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's always a beautiful day in a bull market. It's lovely.
Yeah, even with the meme coin retracement that's happening across the sector. And then last but not least, we got Crypto Blood. He's been doing some blood-alytics. Blood, how are you doing today?
Great, man. Glad to be here, DZ. Thanks for having me, bro.
Always a good time. And once again, make sure you go ahead, hit that like button, everybody. I see you in there. A lot of blood in the chat already. So we're just hitting the ground on with the
I told him to come over.
All right. We love
the
to
channel
see
need a blood fusion. Hey, we need a transfusion. So we're here, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. Let's go.
Yeah, as long as you didn't get the jab. Hey, we joke, but not really. All right, everybody. If we could share my screen real quick. We said there's a giant unlock coming. Folks, did you know it was that much? Arbitrum to unlock $2.3 billion in 4 days. It is a cliff unlock. And if you didn't know what a cliff unlock, there's a little bit of a description here. Token unlocks are also highlighted. This will be a cliff unlock where no tokens are released initially until a cliff, which is the unlock date, and then a lump sum of tokens will be released into the market on the specified release day. Well, that specified day is 4 days from now. If we go to Token Unlocks dashboard, this is a great tool here. And you can see cliff unlocks on the next 7 days. Number 1 is Arbitrum. And if we click on ARB, you can see a countdown appear. This is looking scary, folks. 3 days, 16 hours, 50 minutes, 40 seconds, tons and tons of tokens. Now, Blood, we got you up here. I'm wondering, because there's a common thing that people think, especially retail. Oh, well, the big unlock's happening on a Tuesday. It's going to dump on Tuesday. Well, sometimes it'll dump on the Monday. Sometimes it dumps on the Wednesday. We don't know really what's going to happen. It's hard to perfectly guess this. But if I had to ask you, is the Arbitrum unlock priced in?
It can't be priced in fully because the actual tokens haven't been unlocked. So once they're unlocked, then you'll start to see the floodgate, in my opinion. So it's a little slightly different in this scenario to me. Your normal typical buy the rumor, sell the news. You'll see it accelerated, I think, sell off after the fact. You'll have some smart people sell beforehand, but the influx of supply will come actually when the cliff occurs. So it's interesting. I didn't even know that there was a term called cliff for unlocks, for token unlocks. I know that term from like traditional business where you have like cliffs in your equity, right? So you have like a cliff, 4-year cliff, but same principle. I like that. I didn't know about that. That's pretty cool.
The only cliff I knew about was from Cheers, and he was a postal worker. Shout out to Cliff. I know that's a very old reference, folks. But
I know a cliff high, and that's the woo-woo side of things. I know a cliff high, but that's about it.
All right. Well, we're both throwing out references for 5% of the audience. And folks, if you got one of those references, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, everybody. All right. Well, Matt Snider, I'm looking at Arbitrum. This is off CoinGecko. Right now, it's ranked 48. It is down a little bit. It's down about 2.8%. But I want to pull up the max chart here. If I could share this real quick. You can see here, there was a great time to buy Arbitrum. Really, any ARB under $1 in retrospect looks like a steal. Kind of flirting around with this $2 level here. What do you think is going to happen in the subsequent days and weeks after the billions of dollars is released onto the market?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the same chart too, DZ. I have a real hard time kind of being able to extrapolate into the future with a token that's been around for just under a year, about a year, in conjunction with an unlock like this. You're looking at the fully diluted market cap is over $20 billion, and they have a market cap right now of about 2.3 billion. So it's going to be really interesting to see all these tokens get unlocked. And if that happens in the same way and it keeps the same market cap, you could expect probably a tenth or maybe a fifth of the price to be a fair market value after all these tokens get put onto the market.
All right,
Yeah,
Matt,
I was going to ask Matt. I didn't even know that part. So I was thinking a 90% reduction on those numbers. It wouldn't be 1-to-1, but a 90% drop is not out of the books, right? It sounds like
it seems quite doable. Matt was bringing up a really good point. So the tokens that are out now gives it a $2 billion market cap, but fully diluted $20 billion. Now, thinking crypto, if we can share my screen one more time here, that is the almost polar opposite of the other L2 that's taken a lot of attention, Polygon. If we scroll down here, market cap, 10 billion, fully diluted, 11 billion. So you're seeing instead of 90% yet to be released, 90% is already released. Polygon is only worth half an Arbitrum fully diluted. Thinking crypto, what do you think of these valuations?
Yeah, it's tricky. And we've seen historically that if there's a ton of tokens that get added to the market, sometimes there's not enough liquidity to move a token to new all-time highs. But as Matt said, Arbitrum doesn't have the history where you can compare it from the previous cycle. So these things are kind of tricky, but important metrics to look at and to see what your exit strategy might be. Maybe it doesn't line up on the fib that it might hit a new all-time high, and maybe you got to exit to break even. That's how I would personally look at it.
All right, Think Crypto, I'm going to do a follow-up, and I'm going to ask everybody the same question. Chat, I just asked you the same question in chat. You can't touch it for 1 year. Thinking crypto, are you going to buy some ARB or some Polygon?
Man, I really like Polygon because of all the things they've been doing, but ARB has been ripping. But then this token unlock could change things, right? But I'm going to go Polygon. I'm going to go Polygon because I appreciate what they're doing, the partnerships, all the adoption, and so forth.
All right, Matt Snider, I see you nodding at Matic. Matt, what coin are you going to buy if you can't touch it for a year? Is it ARB or Matic?
Matic, hands down. And especially because you can look at it at a previous all-time high and say, what's my multiple on invested capital here potential, right? Even if it touches it, it goes 80%, you're in a much better historical position than you would be with Arbitrum. And the very last piece that I'll say is, I'll admit I don't even know what this token does. So I just look at the tokenomics, right? You can see at the end of it, like it passes my radar, like not one I'm going to look at. I'll take Polygon all day.
I will say the main difference, ARB is more commonly compared to OP. OP, to those who maybe know a lot more than me, they say OP has a better development stack. That's why you're seeing more L2s being built on the OP stack. But the big money is going to ARB. So while more devs use OP, ARB has the higher TVL. So money choosing ARB, devs choosing OP. We honestly don't know how that's going to play out. Now, Crypto Blood.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right. Weigh in and then let us know.
Long term, devs win. Long term, devs win. Okay, so you got to pick it based on that analysis. Yep, there you go.
It reminds me of H-Bar. Our tech is so good. Why won't people use us? So I mean, I would agree up to a point. At a certain point, big money can pump a chain even if it's not doing much. Yep. God, I want to throw out names right now. I want to throw out some coin names. We're not going to throw it, but there's a lot of coins that have high valuations that not much is being built on it, everybody. But Crypto Blood, Matic or ARB, you can't touch. Which one you going to buy?
That's a Joey Biden question right there. That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer, DZ. Okay. Come on, man.
And what was the answer?
Matt just broke down the tech tokenomics on it. You're talking about potentially an 80%, 90% drop. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just throwing out there. Maybe not that much. I'm being hyperbolic, but you get what I'm saying. Get out of ARB. It's already run, as Thinking Crypto said. You got to go with Poly.
All right, I would get Polygon. Why? So I could buy more Kulo. Yeah, I just said it, folks. I just spent 500 Polygon last night on a meme coin. I don't even check the price because I don't care. All right.
Aren't they changing the token name for Matic?
Kulo? Or Matic?
No,
Paul.
Matic. Poly?
The Paul token. The Paul token.
Paul.
Yeah, they'll
Oh,
bring a
okay.
whole bunch of attention, and honestly, retail will probably buy off that renewed attention and renewed interest.
Yeah.
And probably more and more people are going to look at those fully diluted valuations and maybe start reassessing. But folks, that's why you're watching this channel. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like button because we're bringing you this alpha ahead of time. But speaking of ahead of time, Bitcoin is getting ahead of its time and just passed silver. Everybody, we share my screen one more time. We just passed the market cap of silver, $1.4 trillion. I pulled up every single asset. You know, before I do that, Reddit had to weigh in. Bitcoin surpasses silver. I like to do this every now and then. I haven't done it in a while. And then I sort by controversial. We sort by controversial here to see what the most controversial statement is from Reddit
Oh, that's
on this
neat.
topic.
I didn't know
Silver
you
is
could
one of
do
the
that.
most heavily manipulated markets in the world. Bad comparison. Very next comment. And Bitcoin's price is never manipulated? You know what? That one got a -1. You're getting a +8. That was pretty funny, everybody. I thought that was good.
Oh,
But
man.
here are all the assets. Number one, gold, $14 trillion. And here you can see Bitcoin just passed silver, 1.4 to its 1.36. Next up, for that Grim Reaper to touch the door, it is the alphabet door. Look at that. Google is the next market cap to overtake at 1.7 trillion. Matt, you know, you look at equities, you look at private companies, public companies. So you've probably been watching or theorizing, can Bitcoin pass gold? You know, there's Peter Schiff. One of these days, hey, you know what? Gold will hit 3K one day. But until then, Bitcoin is going to surpass it. Now, Matt, what are your thoughts on Google being overtaken by Bitcoin? Is that going to happen this year? Is that going to happen this cycle? Is this Google going to go up with Bitcoin and it won't happen? What are your thoughts here?
I find it interesting that we compare companies to commodities and leave them on the list, because if the companies weren't in there, it would be gold, silver, Bitcoin. And to me, that's
There you go.
gold, Bitcoin, silver, and that's a
There you go.
great chart to look at. I mean, I got to think that over time, Bitcoin's going to surpass most, if not all, of these companies. And certainly, if they stop buying back their own stock and stop hoarding their own cash, like their valuations are potentially overvalued in some capacities here. You know, Google's got a lot of work to do from an AI perspective. I think there's a lot of potential growth, but I think gold is coming to eat Bitcoin's coming to eat all their lunches in time. Maybe not this cycle, but it's the long game in my mind.
All right, it's the long game. Well, thinking crypto, you know, we just saw a clip of Peter Schiff crossing the finish line in his mind, at least.
No, he didn't cross it. He didn't make it.
Right there.
He was right there.
All right, so you know, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin and gold? So I can kind of see two different ways. As Bitcoin goes higher, it's due to inflation, so that might be good for gold as well. But on the other end, as Bitcoin gets higher, people might dump gold. Oh, that's the sinking ship. This is the rising tide. What are your thoughts as it gets closer? I mean, is there a possibility Bitcoin never crosses gold, or is it inevitable?
I think it's inevitable. Bitcoin is going to cross gold. I don't think it happens this cycle, but just as it passed silver, it's the next up is gold, and I think that's going to happen maybe 2030-ish or a little bit beyond that. When if you look at the charts, Bitcoin heads into the higher hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I think the important factor to remember here, even with comparison to the company, not everyone is able to access gold easily and even stocks, but they can access Bitcoin. And the reason being, you can buy fractions of it and you can be in any local fiat currency. As long as you have internet connection, you can start buying it. And just recently, I interviewed the founder of Azteco, which is doing voucher systems in developing countries, third world countries, and so forth, where people can easily access Bitcoin. So I think Bitcoin's reach is greater because remember, certain stock markets, if you're in certain countries, you can't access the stocks, right? So it limits the amount of capital. But Bitcoin is truly a global asset class with a finite supply and real time that I can put as little as $10 into it. So I think Bitcoin has a strong chance of passing gold. And then you have the institutional demand with these ETFs, which will allow sovereign wealth funds to easily access Bitcoin. Countries, we just saw recently Arizona, the state of Arizona is looking to pass a law that will allow them to add ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs to their pensions and so forth. So there's a lot of on and off ramps being built for Bitcoin.
On-ramps, and you brought up sovereign nations. Now, Crypto Blood, do you think there's secret on-ramps happening right now? Are there wealthy sovereign nations buying Bitcoin but keeping it a secret due to just the game theory of the whole thing?
Absolutely. And next time, make sure you get some guests on here that I can disagree with, because these guys are hitting it out the park. All of what they said is so true. Really, to Matt's point, we're comparing apples to oranges when in regards to Bitcoin and these companies. Companies have a whole different metric of, looking at it, right? Price to earnings and cash flow and all that stuff, right? But a fairer comparison would be gold, silver, and Bitcoin will reign supreme. Again, to echo their comments, probably not this cycle, but it most definitely will be the largest commodity, if you want to say, in the game in the near future. Now, I forgot what other question you asked me.
Well, you know what? I'm going to throw it to Call Me AK. They're typing this question in the chat. Best coin to buy right now? I know it's a little off topic.
Oh man, you put me on the spot. I don't know, man.
Bitcoin. You can always just lean on Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
All right, Bitcoin. There you go, Bitcoin. All right, you peer pressured me into it. All right, there you go.
Or go full degen and buy a meme coin that's going to fall 90% over the next 30 days. Don't do that, folks.
Or that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. All right, we're going to go around the blockchain one more time. You got to hold again for 1 year. Matt Snider, silver or gold?
Gold, so I can take a loan out and buy Bitcoin.
I'm thinking crypto, silver or gold.
Peter Schiff's going to be happy to hear this. Gold.
All right. And Crypto Blood, maybe you disagree finally. Silver or gold?
Nope. I got to go with Peter Schiff and everyone else on the panel. It's gold, baby. It's gold.
All right. I'm going to be the lone dissenting voice here. If you look at the silver gold ratios, it's kind of extended at the moment. So, maybe it's silver's turn. Silver was, I think, $50 over 10 years ago, whereas gold hasn't had quite that retracement.
Just like it's Litecoin's turn, DZ?
Hey, there's 4 for every 1 Bitcoin, so it should be worth like $15,000 a coin, right? I mean, that's just math. I don't know. Why won't it work? Why won't it do it? All right, let's go to the third topic here, everybody, and that's going to be Trump praising Bitcoin. What is going on here? It was on Squawk Box, and he had a quote here. There's been a lot here. We have an article. Trump now says he has fun with Bitcoin and crazy new currencies. Everybody, those crazy currencies. When asked about those skyrocketing prices, he spoke favorably about his experience making money in crypto, like his NFT trading cards. I make money with it. I have fun with it too. Crazy new currencies. That's what I call them. They're crazy new currencies, whether it's Bitcoin or others. People are using them. If you think of it, it's an additional form of currency. We did a limited edition sneaker run, and you could go through crazy new currencies. He likes that term, crazy new currencies. Now, he famously sold 1,000 red bottoms, not Louis, for Bitcoin. Looks like he's hauling the Bitcoin. Also, the MAGA team, the Trump meme coin team, famously sent him, I think, $7,000 worth of MAGA at the low. And it ended up being worth over $1 million. That's right. The 7K turned into 7 figures, everybody. But now he's going from hard on crypto, hard on Bitcoin, to now slightly favorable, a little bit of a 180. Now, Crypto Blood, what is the motivation here? Quite the hand gesture there. I'm not even going to comment on that one, but why is he doing the one? I mean, it's this little dance move. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. He's got it patented.
It is a patented dance move. Move over, Elaine. We got a new top dancer. Why is he softening his stance on Bitcoin and crypto, if you had to guess?
Pandering towards the conservatives are more open to cryptos, Bitcoin. So he's kind of leaning toward that whole constituency. So that's probably why. But if you listen to the actual clip, he didn't say. He said, okay, yeah, a little bit Bitcoin, these crazy cryptos, guys, these crazy crypto. But at the end of the day, he said this one thing, and this is every president is going to, the dollar is national security. So we have to keep the dollar reigning supreme. Any president that gets elected is not going to opt for a currency that's not controlled by, domestically controlled by the country. It's just not going to happen. So that's probably as far as he's going to go with saying he likes Bitcoin, and even any action on that. I don't see him doing anything other than that, talking about it, nothing else.
Yeah, I actually pulled up that quote that you're talking about right here. If we can share my screen. If you think about it, it's an additional form of currency. I used to say I want one currency. I don't want people leaving the dollar. I hate with a capital H. I just added that. I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar. When we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. Thinking crypto, what are your thoughts on that statement? Is that too strong a stance on the dollar?
No, I think he's absolutely right. The American dream, the American lifestyle is at risk if the US dollar loses that world reserve currency status. So it's things I've been discussing in different interviews and on the podcast and so forth, that the US needs to act. Tomorrow, I'll actually be interviewing the founder of the Digital Dollar Project, Chris Giancarlo, former CFTC chairman. And they've been advising the Fed and the government on how to do this right. But the US has to get its act together, whether to use a stablecoin like USDC or they build some sort of CBDC. They got to figure this out. And yes, they have to maintain our rights. It has to align to the Constitution. But Trump's right. If we lose this status, it's going to be, I think the United States is going to look a lot different than it has in the past 100 years or whatever it may be, and the prosperity we've seen. And on the Bitcoin thing, I think it's a huge, huge win. If you go back to 2019, Trump tweeted out, "I am not a fan of Bitcoin and crypto. It's used for illicit activities." Now he's saying, I accepted. We know they got the NFTs on the Bitcoin ordinals. He's accepting it for payments for his shoes. So I would rather have a neutral Trump than a Trump that's against it. So this is a huge win, in my opinion.
All right, now follow up thinking crypto. Joseph, the only answer is he made money from it. Is it, I don't want to say cynical, but I mean, could it just be that simple?
Yes, I think Trump is a capitalist and he'll go to the money, right? We've seen that that's who he is, and that's fine. He's a marketer, he's a great marketer, and he knows how to make money.
And water, and yeah, I mean, for sure.
So look, I'm not saying I don't buy his products, his shoes or NFTs or anything, but just from a capitalism standpoint, I think he's going to go where the money goes. And I think what we're seeing is a great awakening by the political elites in DC. We saw the pandering to the crypto industry from Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, RFK Jr. They know there's a ton of people here, a ton of capital, and this tech isn't going away. It's here to stay. So I think there's an awakening happening, and they're like, wait, this thing is not a joke. And they're trying to get the votes, of course. And of course, if people are willing to pay with Bitcoin and other cryptos, they're going to be open to accepting it. A lot of these guys like Vivek and so forth are taking campaign donations in crypto.
All right. Well, Matt, I mean, what are your thoughts about that? Is it a little bit of pandering, and where can this pandering lead? Could it lead all the way to Bitcoin on the U.S. Treasury?
I don't think that's actually a good question. I think in the future, there would probably be a time where treasury bonds or treasuries might be issued backed by Bitcoin. That would be really cool to see. I think it's very easy for this presidential candidate to say, maybe it's not so bad, and all of a sudden win like the one issue voters who are many, many people who are part of this ecosystem, that crypto is their world, Web3 is their world. This is really the stuff they care about. And they're not going to look at other candidates who are vehemently against this or trying to stifle innovation or, mass regulations on this kind of
or doesn't know what crypto is at all,
or has no idea, doesn't, can't spell it. Trump actually did himself a favor by saying, I actually know and can be on your level. I sold NFTs. I did this stuff and I get what it is. And he might say it's like a crazy currency, but he's kind of belittling it to say, oh, those cute little people over there, I'll welcome them. They're welcome here. It's okay. We're not going to do anything really terrible on it. So I think that that's kind of where he's going with this, but like it's a stark contrast to other folks who are vehemently against it and trying to stop it at every step of the way.
All right. Well, Melania released NFTs on Solana, Matt. Do you think she hodled the Solana? I'm actually looking it up right now. I'm going to CoinGecko. I just looked it up. They sold it in July of last year. And if we look here, we just go to the 1 year chart. Oh, wow. It was like around the middle of July. Yeah, I mean, she collected, I think, over $1 million, or if not millions of dollars worth of Solana at $20. Did they hodl on for the 7X, do you think?
I have no idea, but I do think it is giving these people, I would say politicians and their respective partners, way too much credit to think that they know anything about any of this stuff, or that they're the ones behind it going, maybe I should make a Solana NFT. Like, absolutely no way that that's actually happening. So props to the people who work for them who are like, yo, we should get on this NFT train. We're going to make them a bunch of money. 7K into $1 million? No problem. He just checked his bank account. He's like, great, job well done. It's a Wednesday. I guess I'm going to go play some golf.
Wait a minute. Are you going to tell me Melania didn't learn Rust or, any kind of coding language and didn't do the nuts and bolts work on the background herself? All right, well, let's pull
the
up
only Rust that she
ALTCOIN.
knows about is on her yacht. Like, that's the only Rust that they know about.
All right, that's pretty good. All right, well, I'm pulling up MAGA. This is the coin. It was pretty close to $12 at one point. You can see pretty close to a 50% retracement. And if we look, they airdropped it into Donald Trump's wallet because they can see his Polygon Mint, so they know his NFT wallet. They know what wallet's associated with him. And it was in the fall. It was September, October. Oh, man. And they airdropped him $7,000 worth of coin here. You can see up and to the right, everybody. Now $8.32. It really was above $10. If we go to the 3-month, you can see it wicked up pretty close to $12, actually. I'm gonna go around the blockchain. We'll start with Crypto Blood. Is MAGA gonna come back to all-time highs? If we had to guess here, Crypto Blood, what do you think? And I think I know the answer.
I bought it, man. We talked about it, man. I bought it at 25 cents. I sold half at $2, and hey, we're doing this now. Hey, we were having a party out there.
You're choosing what wallet to put your profits in. Thinking
there you
crypto,
go.
Can MAGA hit $12 again?
Whew. Look, the elections are coming up. Some things are going in Trump's favor. So you're going to see a lot of hype and discussions about that in the MAGA movement. So I think that's all conducive to price increase. So I think it's possible.
All right. And Matt, last but not least, what are your thoughts on MAGA? Is it dead? Is it going to hold on, go back to my chart real quick. I'm seeing a little bit of divergence. We're seeing higher lows, but we're also seeing lower highs. Maybe a little bit of a Bollinger situation playing out here. Can it go back to that $12 range?
Dude, the fact that you're actually doing technical analysis on this manipulated piece of garbage is one thing. The second is, with my luck, it's going to be Bitcoin, MAGA, Ethereum by the end of the year. Like, that's how bad my luck is. So it's going to be a ridiculous market cap. People's going to get crazy pumped. Let's go. Strap in.
All right. Well, chat, you heard it here first. If I look at chat, just see what what you are talking about. A whole lot of there's some strong opinions. Trump just trying to pump his full degen meme bags. That's why we had to bring up MAGA right there. All right.
Man,
and call me AK. I don't know if he's talking about us or the politicians, but they just keep yakking. What were you going to say, Blood?
Yeah, if we can see a meme coin called Nick do what it did, DZ. Hey, man, the sky's the limit for MAGA coin.
Folks, I choose rich. I don't know about you guys, but I choose rich. We're all going to choose rich. And you choose rich by choosing to hit that like button, everybody. And then go down in the description. I just checked myself. We have links to all 3 guests, so make sure you check them out. But normally, we just kind of wrapping it up. But Crypto Blood, you deserve the final few seconds because you got in at 25 cents. And you diamond-handed at least half the bag, you said. So
yeah,
feel free, leave us with some parting thoughts. And just with all this craziness from this episode, at least, what are your thoughts here?
Just go follow these guys. Great guys. They're smart. They're on it. Make sure you go follow them. Follow me. Yeah, don't subscribe to my channel. Just come watch the videos because it seems like the recommended page likes to show you channels that you're not subscribed to. So come on over, watch my videos, don't subscribe, and like the video. That's it.
All right. That's all we got, folks. Crypto meme sold to hold for a year. Unless you're going to buy some meme tokens, that is. All right. Well, folks, we'll see you in the future. Hit that like button.